kid with a French last name, Monceau or something like that.
Misfit, what we eating tonight?
Star Pizza.
Chance to shoot with your feet. Just flip it up there like a seal. Put it between your toes and do a backwards flip. Easy. I love this shit for real. This shit really fun though.
Good. I think that's a great interview.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the postgame. Holy man, I'm worn out, and I'm glad to not have a heart attack, and good to not stroke out during a game like this because it felt like it was close. Ryan, you're available.
We're having internet issues again. NCAA, just what they do.
Look at you with the microphone.
So give me just a minute, but you can start looking at some comments.
I shall. Here we go. Root kicked us off. Masterful play for the final shot. Yes. Yeah, that's an understatement. Those refs were not at the level of this game. You know, the first half it looked like the fix was in. The second half it looked like it looked like it flipped over.
Okay for you?
And it just turns out that these refs were just absolute trash. Let's see here. I can barely
Eddie
breathe.
was. Can you hear me?
Hey, Mom. Way to stay up all night. Be careful about tomorrow. Awesome finish. Breathe now. Yes, yes. Mike, welcome. I think I just developed. Is it angina or is it angina? Who knows? Let's see. Rudy, I can breathe now. Yes. We're having trouble breathing.
Can you hear me?
Barely, yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the locker room, and it's obviously a little chaotic. Will you put me on full screen?
I can.
Okay.
All right, we're going live with Scoop into the locker room. Let's see what we can come up with. You know, it's amazing to me that you've got a tournament that is the moneymaker for the NCAA, billions of dollars, and the internet is straight up ass. Ryan, as much as we want to stick with you, we got a new friend coming in.
Go to him.
G, welcome.
Man, what the fuck? Jesus Christ.
I can't hear you.
Crazy. You can't hear me?
Barely.
I can hear him.
Do I need to turn up my speakers real loud?
Yeah, I think you're the fucking problem.
Yo.
Galen, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfect.
Okay. We're going to go, we're going to talk to some people. Who you want to start with? There's 7,000 cameras around LJ. Milos is on his way to the press conference, so he's not going to be available for a bit. Juwan's on his way to the press conference. JoJo's got a guy with him. Let's talk to JVR, see if we can see what's going on with him. Hey, will you talk with Galen? Or do that. That's pretty sexy, too. All right, guys, you've got JVR here. If you put him on the big screen, go ahead.
Big, can you hear me? Can he? Yo,
Xavier, can you hear us?
we can't hear him. Goddamn, Ryan.
We're sorting through it. Yeah, your screen's frozen now. You know, it's pathetic that you go to these tournaments and
Terrible Wi-Fi.
the Wi-Fi is absolutely terrible. I mean, you know, what kind of half-ass? Well, I mean, I guess it's the NCAA, man. I don't know about you, but back when I was in school, you know, long time ago, I hated the NCAA then, and I can only imagine. Well, I mean, it's obviously proven to be worse now.
You know what's funny? Me and a few of my teammates, we were watching the game in the little media room, and they were basically asking like what type of coach Samson is, and I was just like, man, if you give him, if it's a tie game and he has a chance to drop an ATO and we get the ball last, curtains. Time out. I wrote it right here, Samp ATO. As I was saying it to them, they were like, we about to see. 2.2 left, we about to see.
Oh man. That was beautiful.
Like,
that was
man,
absolutely amazing.
I said, man, he is a fucking wizard on that whiteboard. He is a wizard. Like, and the crazy thing is, I think before we got deflected out of bounds, the shot before, they were trying to put Smith in action. So I felt like they thought that they can attack him and they had an advantage there. Lowe just missed a shot. JoJo wisely let the man. Yo.
Welcome back. Can you hear us?
You're muted.
Shake your head. Nod your head if you can hear us. Can't hear you. Oh,
Can't hear you.
You did. He's muted.
Oh, it's probably because what's around him, maybe.
Yeah, he muted himself.
Yeah.
I don't know. He won't acknowledge if he can hear us.
I can now. It's kind of crazy. But y'all can hear this?
Yes.
Okay. And it's clear?
Yeah.
For the time being.
Okay. I may have to bring guys out, but screw it. We'll do it.
Uh-oh.
I think you need to go sit right where you were because now it's chopped up.
Okay. How about now? Any better?
It seems like it's working now.
Yeah. The more stationary you are, it seems like that.
Well, I can't go get guys if I'm stationary, so we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, leave the phone right there and come back and
see, Ryan, you're gonna have to. You got to have Duarte here to be your production assistant.
Well, he's got other things to do. So unofficially, I'm told Malik has a concussion and could not come back out to the bench because the light in the arena was too bright, and it was the brightest arena I have ever been in. After the introductions, they flipped that light on so hard, and it was just too much for his eyes. So I do not think you will have him Sunday for that 1:20 start in Houston. So you've got 36 hours before you play.
How stupid is that?
It's pretty stupid. But what can you do?
Yeah.
So I am going to check out for a second. I'm going to walk back in there and try to grab somebody to come out with me. And then we'll just try to do it from here. Because obviously in that room does not work.
Sure.
All right.
While you're headed out, let's talk about Star Pizza.
Good people. Better pizza.
What's it called? Yeah. What's it called again, Galen?
Star Pizza.
God, I love that.
I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
When the game is close like that, do you be like shaking or like does your like?
Yes.
And it's so crazy because as a player, whenever you're in a game like that, it's not nearly as stressful.
I've never been nervous playing a game of any sort of any magnitude at any level. I mean, I played in the JUCO World Series. I've played big games in basketball. Played in the regional finals in high school basketball. I've never been nervous ever, and I guess it's probably because I'm in control.
That's what it is. There's a sense of control when you're a part of it. Whereas when you watching, it's like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I had to check my blood pressure a few times just to make sure. Just to make sure.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. The depth perception on that last possession that they got. The kid, first off, when he threw the ball in, he stepped in bounds. Should have been a turnover. And how the ball looked from the side view, it just looked like it was on such a beautiful trajectory to the rim. And I'm so glad he missed it right. Boy, that would have been a tough pill to swallow.
Whew. Yeah. Yeah.
But so going into the game, what did you think that the keys were? Like, if we were to win, what do you think that we had to do well?
I thought we would have to get the ball to the middle of the floor, get it to the paint, and be able to carve them up from 8 to 12. But I thought they did a really good job of. They played man to man, but they sagged it.
Yeah,
and so they did a real good. They did a real good job of making the middle look. I guess middle look blocked, and then also making us think that we had more open threes than we did. Just kind of baiting us to shoot three, and we kind of fell into that trap and settled for, I thought, shots we wouldn't normally settle with.
Mm-hmm.
Played it a lot better in the second half, I thought, but first half it was like we were trying to figure out what they were doing and just couldn't get a grasp of it.
Yeah, it was a weird flow in the first half in terms of like offensively for us. It's just, and I feel like it was kind of the same thing for them. It's like they were kind of unsure. Both teams went on long droughts. It was just like so much uncertainty with trying to figure out each other. But I thought a key to our success was going to be how well Los played, because you're going against a guy who is the engine for his team. That kid, granted, he didn't score it well, but he 15 assists, 3 turnovers against our defense, and he was just, we trapped the ball screen, or it was a hard hit, it's an aggressive hedge. He was just dragging the hedge, dragging it, making it a further run to recover, and he was just swinging it to the weak side. It's just like, man, that kid is good. But I thought also that we couldn't really let anybody outside of their top 3 gain confidence and, have a high level of offensive success. And I thought, I feel like we did that, but it's like, granted, I wish that, we were up 10. I wish that we you go down, get a stop, come back and score. Being down 12, it just looks a lot more hopeless. Yes. I really felt like when they called that timeout after that 3 was hit, that if we got a stop, that would have been it. But they came back and scored, stopped us, came back and scored again. It's just like, man, but that's what's gonna happen whenever you're dealing with a team or a program that's accustomed to winning. Shit, that was a team that was in a championship game last year.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the box score, I mean, Lawyer was unconscious,
out of his mind.
And then he got locked down in the second. 2 of 6, over 4 from 3. Only scored 4 points. And really didn't. I mean, he had two personal fouls, but pretty much locked him up.
I thought that, as Lawyer, as he was torching us in the first half, look at him.
Not connected.
Can you
hear us?
He was coming to send up.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Hold on.
I guess we can. We got some difficulties ahead.
We're going to need to send a producer with him from now on.
Juan.
Can't hear you now.
Can't hear him.
Go for it.
Now they can hear that.
Can't hear him. Yeah, but the problem is we trying to hear you, brother. I read your lips. Yeah.
I hear you.
Ryan, we can hear you.
Well, you're both idiots then.
Maybe give him your give him yours.
Hello.
Yo,
Yeah. Hello.
can you
There
hear
we
us?
go.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey Juan, bro, it's good. It's good to see you, bro. How you feeling?
I feel good. Feel great, actually.
Great.
Tired of
So,
these close games. You scared me though.
yeah. Hey, bro. So I gotta ask you. That last time out, it's our
Yeah.
ball. I know that Coach Samson drew up something nice on that clipboard. What is going through your mind as you're leaving that timeout, knowing that we're probably gonna get a good shot?
You gotta execute. Like, I mean, you could just tell, like, the way they was guarding the inbound, I just felt like their play would have worked because we know the person that's guarding the inbound, he's gonna take anybody that he sees that's open.
Mm-hmm.
The first person that's open, he's gonna run and take it. So the play was for LJ. And as soon as
Yeah,
LJ
51.
flew
Yeah.
up, damn, don't call the play out, dog. Man, I ain't want to say it.
Coach Samson
I
said
ain't want to say
it.
it.
Coach Samson said it on the interview. Yeah.
Okay, bet it's good. Yeah. So you know the play was for L. And if they fight over that, then whoever helps, the person that man help gonna be open. So Coach said, Joe, if you get this ball, shoot it. And Joe had it, but ain't nobody guarding the inbound guy. So Joe just made the right play and just drop it off. That was just smart as hell. That was good execution.
Man, that was great execution, boy. My goodness. So, what did you feel like y'all needed to do? It's a two-ended question. What did you feel like y'all needed to do to beat them, and how do you feel about y'all's effort tonight?
I want to say we needed to know going into the game personnel and knowing the strength of the team. So going into this game, we knew there was going to be three guys that shoot majority of the shots, which is
Mm-hmm.
the point guard, which is the player of the
Hoffman
year.
ran and Smith and
Hoffman
Lawyer.
ran was first team all conference and lawyer shooter. So we knew from the jump the only way them other guys get shots is if they crash the boards because it's three dudes taking majority of the shots. So as soon as the ball go up, like head got to be buzzing to block out and rebound.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like at the start of the game, we let Lori get loose kind of early.
Yeah.
But just trying to make adjustments, and the real adjustment that we made was to play harder. It wasn't
Yeah.
nothing that they was doing special.
That's always the
That it was
answer.
just like a spectacular play or something. We just had to play harder. So we knew going into that game. Purdue's good. It's a game on run, so we never get too low. We just try to stay the course. Um,
Yeah.
and we pulled it out.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is, like, watching the game,
This feels great. I feel
like,
great.
but is he talking to somebody?
Yeah, I'm
Anyway,
here. I'm
like,
talking to you.
okay, yeah, but I'm saying watching the game from my point of view, I preferred Lawyer get off like that because if Smith did, if he start eating, then everybody else would start eating. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So I was kind of glad that it wasn't Smith that was knocking shit down, and it was I'd rather have been Lawyer for real.
In the personnel too, we know he's a pass first point guard. He tries everything to get the ball off the rim. Like whatever
Yeah,
play it is, he's trying to get the show roll.
yeah,
So I feel like
yeah.
knowing that my man um wasn't really a threat to score. He just staying under the basket. We just try to X that out. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, anybody that I was guarding that's not a shooter, anytime he's short roll, I'm taking it. It doesn't leave in the basket. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter where he's at on the floor. I'm taking the short roll until
Mm-hmm.
Hyde comes in. Then we go back to regular coverage calling. Well,
Mm-hmm.
the game plan was just to take away the short roll as much as we can.
Yeah. I think this is my last question. So What do you think it says about this team for y'all to beat a team like Purdue on this stage, in that environment, in that location, at this time? I mean, it's like I feel like kind of everything was against y'all. But what does it say about you guys to be able to overcome LJ? He wasn't his usual self. Granted, he made timely plays, but it's like, what does it say about you guys and y'all's depth to be able to overcome, performance that we're not accustomed to seeing from him?
4-minute question.
I'm pretty sure you can relate to this, G. You're OG, and you know we haven't been a first shot team. We have a couple shooters that make the first shot, but that's not what we rely on. We rely on offensive rebound. So, last game, LJ had 30, and
Yeah.
we didn't know that was gonna happen, but he was hot. So
Yeah.
I assume it doesn't matter how good E-Man or LJ is. When they shoot the ball, I just go around the basket to assume it's a miss. And tonight, those guys went in. So I just feel like second chance points. I think we had 20 second chance points actually, and just trying to find second shots and any opportunity we got to shoot or get a window. We told those guys just keep shooting. Me, JoJo, Jay, Terrence gonna crash the boards. Malik got a crazy O board, but he hurt himself. But that's just the game plan going in. Just not relying on anybody to make their first shot. So, we've been on the road before. We were 10-0 in conference play. So it's nothing new going into these environments, playing on the road. It's just about our culture and traveling and just taking it where we go.
Well, big one, that's all I got for you, man. Proud of you, brother.
You said something?
I said, big one, that's all I got for you. Proud of you, brother.
Oh, yeah. See you in San Antonio, brother.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
How many offensive boards you have? Just said he's going to do a 4-hour podcast with us tomorrow. So we appreciate that. He's very excited and looking forward to that. Yeah.
You just want me to save her, I can.
I found
Right.
somebody to do my work for me.
So,
Did
Ryan,
that work out okay?
Yeah, that was smooth. The more he's been around Coach Samson for so long that he's starting to answer questions like him.
No, I thought he gave you some good detail there.
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty.
Who we got
Okay.
next?
There's 4 guys in the cold tub. If I could get the internet in the cold tub, we'd go and do it with him. But that ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Man,
Juwan was good.
that shit was fucking crazy.
I think JoJo's pass there is the play of the year.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think there's a doubt about that.
I mean, after a tough night, that was
smartest play I've ever seen him make.
Passing it.
I wouldn't even
that passes it to you.
I wouldn't even say for him. I mean, for any player, that's just a great play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's preparation right there.
All right, I'm going to jump off real quick and go see what I can find.
Good luck.
Thank you, buddy.
Galen, I'm wore out, man.
No bullshit. I'm drained. We had a game today. Shit went into overtime. Got fucked by the refs. Lost by 1. It's man, and it's crazy. I was like early on in the game. It's probably like one of the super early possessions. Juan had threw it off the kid's leg, and the ref gave it to Purdue. And then the goaltend they didn't call. I'm like, oh,
the goaltend was the one that I was livid about because that was obvious.
And I'm like, bro, they're about to try to fuck us over.
I mean,
that's what I really thought.
The dude literally not just obviously in the rim, but his hand was in the net.
Inside, like through the rim and not that shit was
I mean, he made contact with the net. That's got to be obvious. And those dudes who called tonight's game, their season should be done. but see, you got to be fair about it. They blew a few calls for Purdue in the second half on two times on out of bounds. They blew calls.
Shit, the hell is that, bro?
Yeah.
Couple foul calls. It's just like, man, how hard is it to get like, if you're not gonna call nothing, then don't call nothing for both teams. Like, don't allow this team to do something and then you call fouls on us and vice versa. Like, just be consistent. That's all I ask.
I mean, for both teams, there were some iffy calls. There were some terrible calls. The only thing that is, as a player and as fans, you can ask is to be consistent. And these idiots were all over the place.
Yeah.
And this, it's another reason why I hate all referees of any kind, of any flavor. Referees, umpires, I don't care. I hate them all.
Yeah. But I ain't gonna lie, man. How about Los? How about the kid, man?
Dude, he just... See, the beautiful thing about it is, I've talked about this for a long time this season, is that you don't know who to stop. You have to pick your poison.
Right. Yeah.
And you just got guys. I mean, Milos goes off in the conference tournament and then has a tough game in the NCAA tournament. But then LJ stepping up. You got E-Man stepping up left and right, and his I can't tell you how good of a player he is once he starts putting his head down and getting to the rack. That opens up his entire game, and it's like it gives him more energy and gives him more confidence. And then, of course, it also adjusts how you have to guard the guy.
Yeah.
But Milos, man, Jesus Christ, that guy was unbelievable.
Yeah. But to address E-Man is like his, like, not recklessness, but in a sense, his selection is like Rob Gray's. It's like, don't shoot. Oh, good shot. And it's just, you can't take that away from him. And it's just like, and that's what, when you got a guy like that, he's probably the guy that other teams are the most afraid of. Because once he sees one or two go through the net, it could be over for you. Yeah. And he gonna pull it from 30, damn near the logo. Look at the kid. The kid. God damn, I can't hear you. Oh, it's on mute. Man, I don't even know what the fuck I need to ask. Can you? It's steady. Can he? You hear me? We can't hear. We can't hear.
Ryan,
God.
give him the other.
Yeah, facts. What's wrong with just doing it in speakerphone?
Hello.
There we go. There we go.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
Welcome. Congratulations, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Oh, I can't hear him.
You can't hear?
Alan said he can't hear.
No, can you?
Yeah. You got to turn yours up.
My shit is on the max, brother. Damn. I can hear you just fine, Sounds. I can't.
You got
That's odd.
Ryan with this janky ass. So how about I'll just ask the questions and
okay, you ask me and I'll relay it. Go ahead, Galen.
Brother, how does it feel?
He said, brother, how does it feel?
Yeah, no, I can hear Galen.
He can hear me, I just can't hear him.
Yeah. No, it feels good. You know what I'm saying? Basically a road game, but come out here with my brothers and get the W. So I mean, now we gotta prepare for Tennessee and see what they got. Galen can't hear. Hold on.
So
I can hear him.
Noise cancellation. All right.
All right, you there?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear him. Oh my goodness.
Coach said, "Let's go." Tell him Coach said, "Let's go."
He said, Coach said, let's go.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Yeah. Go ahead, big dog. Be
All right,
easy,
then.
man.
Yep.
Shit. Why couldn't I hear him?
I don't know. That was odd.
Anyway, yeah, what was I saying about you, man? It's like, oh yeah, that's what makes him. You know, Coach Samson used to call it, you got to keep an ace in your back pocket. A guy who's just unpredictable. You never know what he's going to do next. But I just think it's crazy how, like you said earlier, like you just never know who you're going to have to stop. And I think it was probably later, probably like less than 5 minutes. Coach had drew up an ATO for LJ, even though he hasn't. I don't think he made the three prior to that point. And Drew played for LJ. He went off a flare screen and he made it. And it's just like to be able to have confidence in a guy, even though he's not having, you know, his normal shooting night is pretty cool to me. But I just think how, like last game, if we were in this situation, LJ was getting the ball. And it's just like now for crunch time, Coach drew up an ATO to get Los going against Smith. Like that's crazy to me. Like to have faith in him to make and take the last shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then for him to, you know, score the game winning bucket is like, man, the kid has literally blossomed, like right before our eyes.
Yeah, you know, in one of I've been early in the season, it was obvious just how kind of smooth he plays and very he just kind of flows. But you know, the one thing that really has stood out here as he's really put it together down the stretch is that he seems to get most of his shots in the flow, or at least they look like they're in the flow. But that all comes from his balance and his footwork because his feet are always prepared to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Either when he has the ball, he's setting up his body right, but he's also doing that off the ball, waiting to get a catch and shoot. But man, he just looks so comfortable and fully in control of the game.
Yeah.
You know, him and E-Man and LJ, those guys, as much as they were forced to work offensively, because I mean, Purdue did a really good job of attacking those two guys. I mean, they didn't play defense trying to contain them. They played defense attacking them, and that was not what I expected from them.
It was good, Ryan.
Sorry that did not work out as well as it could have. The internet has gone off so many times in this arena. It's like the NCAA is a poor organization that can't afford some good dial-up. I mean, it's been horrible I've been here for 11 hours, and it's been terrible the entire time when nobody was in the arena, when the arena was packed. I mean, it's an NFL stadium. They have internet. It's not a first time they've ever done this.
We're gonna have to send you with Starlink next year.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's doing what we're doing. Nobody's trying to do what we try to do. We're not really pulling it off. But I think Jawan gave you some good stuff, and Galen just talked too damn long for Milos, and Kelvin came in and said, "Let's go. We're out of here."
Couldn't hear shit.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I do have a little bit of video from Kelvin in the locker room. He came in causing a commotion. And so we'll get to that. Why don't you go through some more comments and I'll work on this.
Oh, that alley-oop.
A few of them.
With Milos. When Milos crossed that dude over and then got Javier on the alley-oop, that was about as beautiful as you could possibly get it.
You can tell that the game is like super it's slowed down for him, for Los. Like he's making great reads. And I really the funny thing about it is he's so smooth. I thought he could have still been more aggressive. Like that's how like he makes it look kind of easy. And it'd be certain times where he picks up his dribble and it's like, man, I don't want you picking up the dribble because I want you to go, but it's good to have a point guard who's very unselfish, but I felt like today was his day.
And he's making a habit of it.
Yeah.
But Juan, I thought he would be more of a focal point offensively, but he did a great job of distributing and was rebounding his ass off.
Yeah, I think they were doubling him early. Like, and I was like, damn, they monstering us. They bigger than us. Like, I just thought that was weird. But monstering Juan, he's just a guy that's gonna invite. He's gonna invite any trap because he's gonna look straight to the weak side. And when you got three guys shooting above 40%, multiple attempts, it's like how do you want to get beat, man? Honestly.
Galen, you and I are the best. Congratulations for being the best, buddy.
Well, I don't even.
Hey, these are their words, not ours, brother. Man, facts. No, man, that was my heart was like my adrenaline was pumping. That shit was so cool.
Yeah, man. I was really hoping we would run away with it. I really thought that we would. I knew we would get into a 10-point lead in the second half.
I knew we were going to find our stride. Yeah,
I was really expecting us to drop the hammer, but I think we got. I think we were looking for that kill shot a little bit too much instead of taking and getting more easy baskets.
Was this your first time watching a U of H game? You think they're just going to run away against a good team? No, they're going to go on a 4.5-minute scoring drought. That's the game plan.
I don't know. I would like to once you get that kind of lead, that's when I really like to go at their defenders and start getting to the line.
Yeah.
Because at that point they're going to have to pick up the aggression. They're going to reach a lot more. They're going to challenge everything, go into the rim, and that's when you can start just whittling people out of the game. And you had what was it? Kaufman Wren had 4. Lawyer had 3.
He had 3 in the first half, didn't he, or was that early in the second?
I think he got it fairly early in the second.
How about we hear some video or watch some video from Kelvin, who just walked into the locker room after the press conference and just went to town.
Kelvin, got a second? A record. Anybody know what the record is? Your record?
33 and 4. 3 and 4.
Nothing else is
What did he say?
Galen was the worst point guard I've ever had. I think is what I heard. But it was, there was a lot of people, a lot of noise. We have a little bit more sound from him. It's processing right now, and it'll come up in just a minute. We don't have any official word on Malik, but I'm telling you, it's not good for.
I mean, if you're out of
Sunday.
the game because of concussion on Friday night, you're
Right.
done for the weekend.
You're done.
I mean,
Yeah.
concussion
And, I mean, it
protocol is
wasn't-
usually at least a full week.
Yeah, and it wasn't officially that, but it was pretty clear You saw. I mean, I am sitting right where I'm sitting. He was right in front of me, and I'm basically. I mean, we're court level right here. Okay, so like where he went down was right in front of me, and you saw his eyes, and I was like, "Uh-oh, that wasn't good." And I love
Yeah.
that kid. I mean, he's such a good dude.
He was harassing Smith.
He was.
He was
He.
chasing. Man, he was harassing that
I
kid.
mean, you gave up 60 points to this team, and that's pretty stout. Here's the second part of the Kelvin video.
And the clock's not going to start until it hits Joe's hand. And then when Joe touched it, my biggest concern making sure Milos was in balance. And once I saw him get in balance, I knew you could see it unfolding from my eyes. I could see it happening. As soon as the two guys ran with L, I said, we got a chance here.
Yeah, what's that feeling like? You coach all these hundreds and thousands of games to have something sort of unfold that perfect.
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, you're always thinking way ahead. I was just thinking, worst case scenario, we go to overtime.
Sure.
Look like Dan Hurley in there asking questions.
That was Pete Thamel that asked that one, eyebrows and all. He was sitting right next to me at the A&M game in Memphis last year. I had John Rothstein to my right. Today I had Thamel and this fat fuck who farted the entire game was sitting right next to me. And
no, I was here at the house.
It turns out there's another.
Oh, there is another.
Oh
yeah.
Man, y'all.
And he works for some Purdue outlet, but he was rooting for them. You just can't do that down here. You can't do it. And it pissed me off, and he was farting, and I'm over it.
So, are you rocking a windbreaker or something?
It's a short sleeve golf FootJoy windbreaker.
Oh,
It is. There was so much whiteness here that I felt like I needed to whiten my game a little more.
You're kind of pinkish, so I mean, you get.
Yeah.
Let's see here. JG, Rick Barnes and Kelvin Samson has so much
no interest in talking about that. I mean, they're old friends. It was UT, it was OU. It is what it is. Focus on the Elite Eight with the chance to go to the Final Four. Those secondary storylines are bullshit at this point. This is not February 3rd. This is let's go to the Final Four. And there's only 36 hours, so you really can't flesh out those storylines. I was really impressed with Javier Francis.
Facts.
In that game. He played his ass off, and he played with 3 fouls for a long time. Just really so impressed with him and what he's done. I want to talk to y'all about that Braden Smith kid. Is that his name, Smith?
Yeah.
It's 1:30 in the morning here. So he is getting $2 million in NIL, which I asked several people, Purdue people, U of H people, and got it confirmed a few times. And that is outrageous money. He is 100% worth it. And you can't argue that. But Milos Uzan is better. And Uzan ended up with 22, 6 assists.
I just think they're
6 and 9
different players.
They're completely different players. But if that guy is worth $2 million.
Well, the thing is that I don't have a problem with a guy like that getting $2 million because he's a proven commodity. I mean, the ones you got to question are, high school kids, 17, 18-year-olds coming in, and they haven't played a game in Division I. I mean, these are guys that are going to impact the game in a massive way. Not saying that Cooper Flagg doesn't, or any other 17, 18-year-old coming in, or some of the high school kids apparently are 20 now. But I don't mind seeing players like that get paid. Now, the $2 million itself, well, that's
Crazy.
a massive number.
Crazy.
And, you know, for him, I'd say fucking good because there's probably not an NBA future in front of him.
No.
And he can play, I believe, professional. What do you think?
For sure.
Chief?
For sure.
I mean, he seems like the ideal for Europe.
Yeah, super. Yeah, he's good. And he's like he has a super high basketball IQ. Off the charts. Yeah, even though he didn't score the ball that well, like the reads he was making, how he was kind of forcing our defense to do what our defense doesn't want to do. Yeah, he's a good player. Good player.
I thought he did. I think the thing that stood out to me most about what he was able to do is that he was able to keep his dribble alive.
Yeah.
And not only keep it alive, he, like you mentioned earlier, he pulled the defense, he pulled Javier and JoJo way away from the center. So it was really tough to get back and cover. And not only was it tough to get back and cover, it was tough to get back quick enough to let the backside release to the far side.
Yeah.
Offensive guy.
That was a good game.
It was a great game. That was an elite game. Two great programs. Thank you, Butthead. I nearly called him Butthole. Butthead. I've been up for almost 22 hours, and I'm not handling it well.
I'm gonna have to rent a producer next year on the road and make them wear like a Starlink backpack.
Yeah, there's definite room in the budget for that. You know, we shouted out all the people that work with us in basketball today. Brad and Galen, Mario Puente, Jamie Hollingsworth, the three guys from the No Conference for Old Men podcast, Stephen Jane, Bill Walker, Tom Lydiak, Ann Lee, who does photography for us. And you know who we forgot? The GoCoogs intern.
JD?
We just screwed that up so bad. And people are coming up to him a lot, apparently, and asking, hey, are you the GoCoogs intern? And I want to tell you, if you're doing that, please continue.
Double down.
Yeah, keep going. Did Ryan lose a bet wearing a Kansas jacket? Number one, I can't wear red on press row. It's just against the rules. It's against all the etiquette. And so you've got a red team here, you've got a black team here, you got a blue team here. There ain't a lot of, I mean, I don't have any of that Tennessee orange. I just don't own it. So my options are pretty limited. So I went with the blue. If you notice my shirt, those are little Texas emblems. So, you know, I'm trying. There's just not a lot of options. But now that the black team is gone and the blue team is gone, a lot of options.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, you're probably not going to be able to find much Tennessee gear unless usually they make
not here.
Usually they make you leave that at county jail.
Accurate. I've been to half dozen Tennessee games, football, basketball, and usually they're beating somebody so bad you hear Rocky Top non-stop. And today in this arena, you just heard that band playing Rocky Top the entire fucking first game. And I mean, they beat the hell out of Kentucky. I mean, just dominated. And I think Sunday is going to be an ugly game. It could feel like that Villanova game with, because you're going on that short rest again. I mean, that was a 36-hour situation. This could be it is a 36-hour situation. So, Ryan, you would be proud of me. I was boarding the flight with JD and said that to him. I believe he texted me about this, Michael. He didn't know your name, but he texted me about this. I sent it to Brad, and
Who? Mike Jones.
Michael Jones. Storylines are not bullshit, Ryan. Barnes versus Sampson goes back long before Texas and OU. It's entertaining. Yes, they grew up in that same area, about the same age, but it doesn't matter. This is a massive game. The story is the game, not the two coaches.
But that's going to be the story.
Well,
That's
it's
going to be the
It would
national
have been
media
more
story.
time to push it if this
yes.
was going into the Final Four and they were seeing. But it's like
Right.
it's a quick turnaround. Yeah, it's not enough time to milk it.
Ryan, how difficult was it not to go nuts when Milos hit that game winner? I accidentally woke the wife up and I'm sleeping on the couch tonight. I like sleeping on the couch myself. I just find it comfortable.
Me too.
But so the inbound was right here, not 25 feet in front of me. They bring it into JoJo. Kelvin said, and I believe even Jawan may have said that the play was for LJ. He got wiped out. JoJo was the backup, so he should have shot that. And he had the presence of mind to get it back to Malik or to Milos. And I just thought that was the most beautiful thing. And I seriously considered skull fucking this fat farter next to me, but I didn't because I'm a good person. And I don't know what the prison situation is in this state. So I'm gonna avoid that. The total is 123.5 for this game. That's low. I think the line is about 1.5. The last time you faced Rick Barnes was in the CBI. I want to say, and I can't 100%, but I think Rick Barnes' first game at UT was against Clyde in Clyde's first game. And U of H won it 71-69 or something. So you think it's a similar crowd to Purdue. I'm not quite sure what this means, but I mean, it's going to be all Purdue. And today in this arena, it was a lot of Kentucky. There were more Kentucky people here in the first game than there were Purdue people in the second game. Because as you learned in Pittsburgh, BBN is a real thing.
Facts.
And they were do you think the crowd is as big as Purdue as in Tennessee? Oh, I think the Tennessee crowd will be, it's okay. It's bigger than the U of H crowd, but I don't think it's going to be nuts. But this team has proven to you all year, and this is now 16 in a row away from home that they've won. They feed off of it. Galen's talked to you about it, about that bunker mentality.
Yeah. But that don't make it any easier, man.
It does not.
Does not make it any easier. Like these win or go home situations, that shit don't even matter. Like we can say whatever we want about this game, but at the end of the day, the column is gonna say whether you won or lost, whether it was pretty or ugly. For me, the uglier the better. I feel like that's when we're at our best. But yeah, man, just survive and advance. Be able to make plays when it's time to make plays.
And there was a time, I guess there was a segment of the game in the first quarter where it was, or first half, where it was turnover, missed, ugly miss, air ball, hit it off the middle of the backboard shot. It's like, wow. I knew we were going to try to ugly it up, but this is taking it to extreme. But
both teams were playing so much faster than they are capable of playing.
Yeah.
Honestly, the uglier it is, the better off we are.
Yeah.
Well, not that ugly, because once U of H gets their feet under them like they did at the start of the second half, I thought that was as good at ball they played in a 5-minute stretch as you can remember. But JoJo picked up his third and JVR picked up his third. So kind of balance.
Mm.
But I thought this team took some gut punches and showed something. And you know, I don't know what happened Sunday. I really don't.
Okay,
Like,
so I've got a question.
yeah.
And I don't know if I don't know. I never got clarification. Maybe I'm just dumb.
Mm.
But Milos hits that shot. Purdue has no timeouts. Why
Yes.
did the referee stop the clock? The game should have been over right there.
No. Well, they have to check to make sure. Like, all Matt Painter has to do is this, and they have to go check that. So I mean that's a no-brainer. I think that's just what happens
They
in
probably
college
took it.
basketball. And I mean, you've got to get that call right. And I don't have any problem with them. I mean, think about it though. You were at 2.2 on the inbounds, the U of H inbounds. Jojo gets the ball, gets to Milos. Milos cuts to the basket, and that's only 1.9 seconds. I mean, that's Superman time. Now, if you can go review where the clock is at the end, but you can't review when the clock started. And that's really what you should be able to do. Like, if they didn't start the clock right,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That was a great play, man.
I'm trying, like, in real time, trying to figure out what play was more impressive to me. And there's not any this year, and certainly nothing as monumental as that one.
Yeah, I think just
But
because of
damn,
what's at stake, that's what made that a great play. But Malik
well,
hitting that shit at Kansas.
that at that
That,
time,
yeah.
it's so crazy that in 2 years, you feel like you've had that moment about 15 times. At
A lot of
Baylor,
close games.
at Texas,
Yeah.
and then this year
Shit,
at Baylor,
at
at
Oklahoma last
Kansas,
year.
at OU was one of my favorites. At Kansas and Baylor, and I don't even remember where else, against Arizona in that conference title game.
Shit,
At
UCF.
Arizona, UCF with Jawan. I mean, this is U of H fans as a whole are not appreciating how amazing this is. This just doesn't happen. And I can't put it into words right now of what we have experienced because of this program. Towns and I were around when you would win 7 to 9 to 11 games a year, and you're winning 7 a year at the buzzer. That's just wild. Ryan called it. They were exciting. I mean, sometimes you just know. Sometimes you just know.
I can't lie. I don't think y'all understand how cool I felt talking about like Coach Samson is a wizard on that clipboard, and then he draws up a play, we win. I told y'all. Like, man, that shit was pretty fucking cool. Pretty fucking cool. I had to talk my shit, Ryan. I had to talk my shit. I'm like, man, y'all boys
Who's
just don't
who's
know.
who's mad you're talking your shit?
It's
Talk
just
it all
it's
day.
just it's just what you do. Just talk shit. But I'm glad them boys backed it up, man. That boy sent, man, that was a great play. A great play.
Here, let's take a look at the.
I don't know much about this shit talking that you're discussing, but it doesn't sound very nice, and I would advise against doing it.
You know, because throughout the year, they couple of guys, they went to a couple of different Big 12 schools. Some guys on that coaching staff, so they be talking shit throughout the year. It's real quiet. and I'm the only one that's still able to talk. And I like that, man. I like that.
See if I can
Go
get
ahead, Brad.
this alternate angle of the final basket. I'm trying to get the video in
The
here.
final basket.
Play it. Play that first part again where you just see the play. Oh, maybe I can do it. That second angle, that looks so fast.
Yeah.
Like he had 3.3 seconds left. Watch this. That's crazy. Good job, Brad.
Los might play his way into some.
If you ask me today, he's gone, and good for him. I mean, he didn't have I mean, he'd have been playing in France next year or in 2 years with where he came in, but he has played himself into that first round, I think, and I couldn't be happier for him. He's such a nice guy. Like, I don't know him like I know other guys in the program, but he's just been so cool and calm. What'd you say?
Said he's like pleasant almost.
He is pleasant. I
Yeah.
thought you said present, and I think he's that too. Like, he's always how they say where his feet are, and I enjoy him quite a bit. Once again, the offensive rebounds kept us in a game. You had 38 misses. You rebounded 16 of those. And, I mean, you shot 37% for the game. But Jawan had 5 offensive rebounds. And I swear he had that at halftime. It felt like, well, we only had 2 at half. Go figure. Okay.
You know, you can it's part of the philosophy of the program.
Yes.
You can always have a bad night shooting, but you never have a bad night playing defense, and you never have a bad night rebounding.
You beat him on second chance points 20-9, and you needed every one of them.
Every one of them.
You had 9 ties, 11 lead changes. You had only 1 lead change in the second half. You had 10 at halftime. But U of H put that blitz on in that second half, and it was fun to watch. Milos had his March moment tonight. You're going to see that play in the after the championship game, the one shining moment. That's going to be right there. You gotta feel good about that. Galen, does the staff prepare for both Elite 8 possible teams during the week? Yes. And Kellen had the scout for the Tennessee game, and so they've been working. I was up in his office this week, and you could tell, like, he'd been working.
Yeah.
So Uh, I hate to.
You got to be ready. You got to be ready with that short of a turnaround.
It's the tournament. It's what it is.
A day in between two games that could possibly be season-ending games. Like you have to kind of get that head start. Not even kind of. You got to get that head start.
You know, during at the end of the season, what do we have? 3 Saturday, Monday turnarounds.
Yes.
To end the season. As much as that was a good mental preparation for the team and going through the process of that, this is March. This is what you're going to be doing. It's the same thing as I think it pays off for the coaching staff to be able to go through that again, going through that and preparing, because they've got a shit ton of work to do, and if everybody's together on the same page as far as the process that needs to happen, it's instead of trying to figure it out each week while you get there, you got the warm up for it, and I think it's paying off. Everything matters. Every single detail.
That was the saying for the women's basketball team for the last 2 years. They went 5-25.
Well, there's a difference between cliches and culture.
Yeah. I think you're going to be really happy with this new guy. I'm excited to get to meet him Tuesday. And we'll see. Galen, your boy Mick Cronin has a statue here. This statue is about 4 feet tall. Little bald guy.
Not too much of my guy Mick, man.
Yeah, that's your guy Mick. My view in the first game. My view in the second game. Got better seats. Fran sent a tweet tonight. Our guy Fran Fischilla, he was down there. I didn't see him all night. And he said that Milos has replaced Jamal. And within 1 minute of him sending that tweet, Jamal comes back with replace is a word I wouldn't use because he is running his own race, which is exactly right. Being his own player, writing his own story. Replace, no. Next up, yes. It's his turn, and I'm his biggest fan, sweating watching this game right now, too. I mean, how cool is that?
It's my PG, man.
That's your guy.
That's my PG.
Things are going to work out for him in this lifetime. How about my guy Ryan? All of a sudden saying, hey, we going for the Star Pizza tonight. Got him some pizza. Got him some Star Pizza. You need to get yours for Sunday's game. It's going to be a right after lunchtime. You go to church, you get the pizza, you get home, you tell the kids to go outside, and you watch this game. Or you let them watch with you, whoever. Who knows? Ryan, did you see Malik in the locker room celebration, or was he off getting attention? I never saw him. So the lights were too bright for him. And if you have a concussion, the worst thing you could do would be in a locker room with a bunch of guys. There has to be an adult that says, no, that can't happen. And that sucks because this is an awesome moment. And, hopefully he gets right for himself, not for this team, but for himself. And they play themselves into next weekend in San Antonio.
All right. I want to take a look at another video.
Sure, buddy. You're in charge.
Watch this. You see how the whole thing opens up. Yeah, and this is a literal chess match with Samson and Painter. And you'll see exactly why Milos is wide open and why JoJo was open to begin with. got Smith trying to go to the backside to cover LJ.
That's a weird philosophy, though.
And just open it wide up.
What do you mean?
How J1 said that Smith, he runs to the first open guy.
But well, look at Milos's eyes. They dart to the left.
Yeah, but it's like,
play this, Brad, and let's see.
Seen his on the floor as he was going off when they were doing the studio interview. He said that play had multiple options.
Yeah.
Yes. And
of course, as does all of our plays.
Yeah, I mean that one's going to. They scouted it. They knew what Smith that he will go after that. So if he doesn't go after that, then LJ's probably going to be open for the shot.
Yeah.
But the fact that he bit on that so hard opened up the entire lane.
But that view right here shows you why Kelvin was saying my first concern was Milo's out of bounds.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he looks out of bounds the entire time until he goes to the hoop. I mean, his heels cannot be 4 inches.
He knew that JoJo was going to be open. And whenever you can see a guy, it's like you're going to get in bounds. Like, it is not going to be it's like you're going to step in bounds before he catches the ball.
Yeah.
Like, and you're going to make sure both feet are planted whenever you do that.
Yeah.
But here's the crazy thing is at times the game has been too fast for JoJo.
Yeah.
And the fact that it slowed down enough for him to see that his only option wasn't to shoot. It was, there's Milos. He's got this perfect lane. And he had that wherewithal to make that pass. I can't imagine just having that wherewithal to make that pass in that moment where sometimes you see it's just going a little fast for him. Yeah. And so,
Kelvin did
that is a guy growing up for March.
Absolutely. And this is, Kelvin had mentioned that they were running this, practicing it yesterday.
Yeah.
This exact scenario. And I think that when you mention that this is the guy that's growing up and that things are slowing down. Damn, I got all kinds of sounds going. It's one thing to hit jump shots and stuff like that, but this is the perfect. Yeah. To make a read that quick off of a reaction in that situation. I mean, that's a situation he's never been in before.
Yeah.
LJ's been in those positions. E-Man's been in those positions. J1's been in those positions.
Yeah.
But JoJo hasn't. JoJo hasn't, and Milos hasn't.
Yeah, if you would have told me JoJo's gonna get the game-winning assist, I would have liked to see how that would have unfolded before I bet my dollar on that.
Yeah.
No disrespect to JoJo, but
no, I mean it just
just a testament.
It wouldn't
to
be
his
what
growth.
Funny how Purdue fans are complaining about officiating. Like you make that push-off call at the.
I'm so glad the ref didn't
half.
bite on that. I'm so glad he didn't.
And
no.
I mean, anybody that's watched college basketball for 13 seconds knows that the way it's called in the first half is typically not the way it's called in the second half, especially in a tournament. You protect the higher seeds. I think U of H was much cleaner in that second half. Although, right as the half began, Purdue got the ball to open the half, and JoJo kind of grabbed a guy, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And they didn't call it, and I was like, "All right." But then from then on out, I thought it was a really clean half. You only were called for 5 fouls. You were at the point where on that last play where they had .3, you still had a foul to give.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you could have fouled them. They had a good little play run, but my angle was exactly from where Smith was to the hoop, and You could tell it was way wide. Samson
Yeah.
says they practice these plays all the time. All the time. If not, I would say every day. Galen?
Yeah. Well, the stuff that we see, it's not an accident. It has been
No.
rehearsed. It has been rehearsed. Please
It
believe
has worked in practice so many times
it.
that
Yeah.
it's made it to the call sheet.
And
Yeah.
how many times do you get in trouble, especially early in the season, when you run these things and you run them half-ass?
Yes, because a lot of times guys they don't understand that there's a difference between running a play and executing it. When you run a play, you can run a play and the timing's off and then it doesn't work. But it's like when you're executing a play, it's like, okay, when he comes off of this screen, as he's coming off, the opposite bit, you're going down to set a ball screen and he's going to, it's like it has to happen at the right time, at the right pace. And I remember Coach Samson, he used to say that a lot, like guys don't know the difference between running a play and executing. It was like, we don't run plays, we execute plays. He's like, shit, you preaching, brother.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you don't get that timing unless you're going 110%, even with no defense, and it's just a shell drill. If you're not going 110%, you're never going to be able to do that in a game because you don't turn it up. You don't rise to the occasion. You fall to your lowest level of training.
GoCoogs in turn said that Malik will be evaluated again later today, and decision will be made for his availability on Sunday. So that's we're going to evaluate exactly what this was. Was it a concussion? Was it not? I would be surprised if it's not. I know that they'll take care of that guy. He told me yesterday, we were talking after we finished our interview with him, and we were talking about Qantas and about how it's kind of a cool circle of life thing that Malik thought he was coming here out of high school, and then Marcus Sasser commits and there's no room. So he goes to Louisiana and then winds his way and ends up here, which is the exact perfect place for him to finish his career. And as he's finishing his career, and he's one of the guys that makes such a big step that helps Qantas get a job, and it's at Louisiana where it all started for Malik. And we talked about that for a few minutes. And then I asked him, do you have an interest in coaching? He was like, yeah, I want to see how far I can go playing professionally. And then I want to get into coaching. I want to work with kids. And I mean, that's really cool. I've never thought of him that way, but it makes sense. He is the proof that the work matters. And just, they're not going to put him in a position where he can't achieve things like that. And so if he cannot play, he cannot play. They are big on the gamesmanship of not giving that stuff away. They did it with Marcus 2 years ago in Fort Worth. A lot of reporters bit that he could be back for that championship game. We didn't. I mean, he was on the bench and he had a massage thing in his pants. You don't do that if you're coming back to play. So, anyways, that's Galen, early scout on the Vols. They good.
It's like looking in the mirror in regards to culture. If I had to pick who I thought we'd have an easier path to success against, I would have picked Kentucky.
Yes. But
clearly we saw why. So Tennessee, we're from the same fabric.
You got all chalk in this regional. 3 and 4 lose today. 1 and 2 face off to go to the Final Four in San Antonio. Just seems right. Seems like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's clearly the best two teams in this region. Who else won today? Was Michigan State won?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Auburn won. They blew them out in the end.
Yeah.
And what was the fourth game? Oh, Tennessee. Okay. I mean, that's both ones and both twos, right?
Michigan State was a 2 seed, Auburn 1 seed.
Yeah.
We're 1 seed, Tennessee 2 seed.
Yeah. So ones and twos in this or for what'll be that side of the bracket. I had two of my Final Four teams out in like the first 12 minutes of the tournament, but I still got two left. Michigan State's got to make it happen, and then U of H has to make it happen so that I can finish like 30th instead of dead last.
True.
In looking back at the Samson era, I don't believe I've ever seen the inbounder get the ball back and score. Does anyone, Galen, did you ever have this happen?
I'm sure it has. Granted, it's probably a regular non-conference game against who knows. But I'm sure it has. But the reason why it's standing out so much is because of the circumstances. It's win or go home, and that was a game-winning bucket.
And it's also not very common that the guy guarding the ball is going to completely abandon the rim, and there's nobody.
Exactly.
I mean, there's nobody near the rim.
That's why I was wondering, like, why is that their philosophy? Like, why is that what they if?
Well, I don't know if it's their philosophy. It could just be a fuck up.
The guy taking it out is the most dangerous because he's if you leave him, he has a so it's like
he's
why?
free.
Yeah, and I guess.
I mean, I'm just kind of amazed that they don't have a big guy on the ball.
Well, if that's their philosophy, you want somebody who's able to identify, recognize the advantage, and get out to it quick.
Right.
So it's like Braden Smith is like obviously he's the perfect candidate. IQ's through the roof, and he's able to read where things are gonna go. But it's like, I mean, those misses that we're going to overtime, we're having a completely different conversation. But it's just like, that's just an interesting philosophy to have, let alone at that point in the game with that amount of time left.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen us pass back to the inbounder, but it's usually after they throw it.
Yeah, exactly.
After we pass over the middle, past the three, and then somebody down screens the guy that's on the ball, and you swing out to the corner for a three. But nothing like this. I've never seen anything open up like this.
Yeah.
No, it was wild. There was it
was he could have just thrown it off the back of Braden Smith and just picked it up himself and scored.
Fuck no. We'd be at home. Oh man, what a day!
It's been a wild one.
That is everything coming together: the scout, the preparation, and the execution. Because those guys knew what was coming, or they knew what the tendency was, and the opportunity presented itself, and boom. Moving on.
There was something that happened, I believe, at the under 8 timeout. I think JoJo had just been called for another foul, maybe his fourth. And they go to the media timeout, and Kellen doesn't even go to the huddle. He comes under the basket over here and starts talking to the ref about how those elbows are happening, making his play for his guys. And every coach is trying to make that happen, but he spent an inordinate amount of time with him. And I just think things like that can pay off, and you're never going to see that in a stat sheet. But I was just struck by, I mean, he's usually in the middle of the huddle barking and talking to the fours but he took his time to go over and do that. A little different. It's like they bet the ranch that the person inbounding was going to shoot and not have time to make a pass. I am curious to hear his explanation on this. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
We get stats and things or quotes, but I'm not going to have it this early. Just an hour and a half after the game. The good news is Purdue's probably home. So
Yeah.
You got that going for you.
Oh shit, Ryan, you're an interesting guy.
I wonder if they're at Harry's Chocolate Shop. They used to be there back in the day.
All right. So we're not going to talk about Harry's Chocolate Shop. I don't care what the fuck he wants to get into. That's some weird stuff.
It's a bar.
Got it.
Dumbass. Had a really good
know.
summer in West Lafayette, so I got very well acquainted with
the chocolate shop,
with the nightlife. There was another bar called Kazoo's across the street from it.
I haven't seen that. Downtown is pretty classy. It's nice.
Oh, not in Indianapolis. I'm talking about West Lafayette.
Oh, well, I don't give a fuck about West Lafayette. This doesn't matter. I had dinner last night with the GoCoogs intern, his nephew, and Dennis Dodd from CBS Sports, who I pretty much just didn't like him just from the things he said and thought. And I kind of got a man crush last night. He's fun. I got a little drunk. Don't mind admitting.
Hold on there, Roy.
Yeah, there you go.
Here we go. Braden postgame said that they are taught to X out on the flare screen for Cryer and that he did not want LJ. Okay. Well, I mean, that makes sense.
Well, their whole game plan was LJ, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, LJ drops 30 last weekend, so obviously they're going to, that's their whole focus. But you can't do that with this team. This one is important. Painter said they had a miscommunication. They ran the day defense, same defense maybe, when they stole the inbound. TKR did not switch. He didn't say that since he would throw his guy under the bus. Yeah, he's not doing that.
Yeah.
I found him pretty interesting in the press conference yesterday.
Ooh, Harry's is still there in the Triple X. Gary, Triple X was the go-to. I used to love that place.
Kitty bar?
No, it's a diner.
Oh,
great.
A fan of that.
Phenomenal. There was a Mexican place that had advertised a big as your face burrito.
Big as your face burrito. Let me guess.
Hey man, I was licking my chops, man. I mean, my face is like pretty large, like a fucking buffalo.
That's crazy.
I have no idea what's happening. In Vegas, back when the old Sahara was the thing, they had a NASCAR cafe. And they had a 6-pound burrito at the NASCAR cafe. And they would give you, I think it was 45 minutes to eat this thing, and it was free. Otherwise, it was like $60.
Hell no.
And I saw a dude, like a big boy, like get into it, like try. And like, I mean, he ate like that much and was like, nah.
Gotta be starving.
You gotta be not right.
Yeah.
To make that happen. All right, boys, it's 2:22 in the morning. How about we do some final thoughts and let me get back to the east side of Indianapolis.
I'll go first, man. Keep it short and sweet. Survive and advance. We're gonna have our hands full this next game. So hopefully the guys get some well-needed rest because we're gonna need everybody clicking on all cylinders.
huge, huge victory. Tough to win on the road. Cougs do it again. Going into their house and snatching their souls. For me, it's gravy from here on out, man. I wanted to get past the Sweet 16. I didn't want to have that number 1 seed jinx and then thinking maybe we should be 2 seed next year.
Mm-hmm.
But we moved to the Elite 8. We'll talk about the history at another time. But
The history, you mean 6-1 in the Elite 8?
when
just
the
Tennessee.
this is the third for Kelvin here at U of H.
Here, yes. 1-1,
So, I mean,
lost 1, playing 1.
That's pretty special.
Guy V
And,
went to
you know-
5 Elite 8s and won all 5. Got to Final Fours. And Kelvin's won 1, lost 1. And we'll see. I think you've got a really good shot. You'd much rather have Malik.
Yeah.
Next man up.
But I don't know who replaces him and does it in this situation. What's going to happen is Terrence Arsenault is going to have to play a game. And if we're being honest, TA's kind of been absent for a while.
He's due for one, though.
He's due. But
He's due for one.
he had such an amazing air ball today that you still got the ball. Like, he missed so bad that it surprised the defense, and they fumbled it out of bounds, which you don't see that but every 3, 4, 5 years.
It was all strategery.
Yeah, it is. He just smart. That's just smart ball play. This ball ain't going anywhere. So who did we lose to in the Elite 8? That was Villanova. It was in San Antonio. And that's the game you shot. You were 1 of 20 from 3, which I'm going to say is not great. But you had it's the Elite 8. You don't give the guy who is 0 for 2025, basically, and maybe for real, that opportunity. And I don't mean to be mean. I think he's an awesome guy, like, personally. But you don't put a guy in that situation for the team and for the
For
kid.
him. Yeah.
Milo's out, confirmed? No.
Malik.
I'm telling you what I talk to people. I talk to people on staff. It's nothing official, but it's not looking great.
We'll see.
Mercy is not ready yet. It's not fair to do it to him 100%. You can't do that. You can't do that to a team that has worked this much for this goal, but you also can't do it to Mercy. That's a lot of pressure. And he's not ready. So TA is still hurt. Yes, he is, but he is playing minutes. And if you're going to play the minutes, you have to be expected to play them. And hopefully it works out for him. But that's the guy you need to step up. If Malik is out. And frankly, even if he's not, it's time. You've got all the talent in the world. It's time to get out of your own head and put it on the floor. So that's going to do it for us. Brad will have a story online in about an hour. Y'all wait around for that. Stay up and check that out.
Or you can kiss my ass.
Okay, you have 2 options. You can go to Harry's Chocolate Bar, or just wait for him to write something. Uh, we'll have something tomorrow, maybe. I don't know what the schedule is here. I think they have to practice in like an hour. But
That's off their feet.
yeah, I can't imagine you're practicing. You're going to watch film. You'll probably do a walkthrough of some sort, but you're not going to practice. So we'll see. Thank y'all so much for staying up with us. I know it's 1:30 in Houston. You still have time for last call. That's all I'm saying. So go out and enjoy yourself or go to bed. And thank you so much for joining us. Star Pizza right here. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of you. Galen, Brad. Brad, are you falling asleep?
About to.
Yeah, your eyes keep closing for
I
like
am
long
wiped.
periods of time.
I am wiped out.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So thank y'all so much. And we'll see y'all Sunday for an early game here in, where am I? Indianapolis.
Still.
On it's such a nondescript town. I'll tell you
It
though,
is.
the best traffic on the freeways I have ever experienced anywhere in my life. Just fly through town. Love it. Thank y'all. We'll see y'all Sunday.